One subtle but underappreciated challenge that I see in older piano beginners is that they have to relearn how to engage with the letters of the alphabet. If you follow the letter-based music system, as I do, we use the first 7 letters of the alphabet to name our notes: A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now, the challenge is that most of us learn the alphabet through reading and writing. So when we think of the letter F, for example, we're likely to associate it with other letters that spell words, like L for flower. Outside of music, we don't have many reasons to think about F in terms of where it is in the alphabet. We don't as naturally think about F as sitting between E and G. But in music, we think about letters according to their closeness to other letters all the time. I think that this is a subtle but highly underappreciated challenge for adults who want to learn how to read music, because the longer you've gone in life using the alphabet just for reading and writing, the harder it can be to learn a whole new system of using these letters. Let me give you an example of how this shows up in my lessons and the impact it can have on learner motivation. Let's say a passage of music starts on the letter F and travels down the piano one note at a time. In order to read these notes, you essentially need to recite the alphabet backwards, starting from F. So let's put ourselves in the shoes of the learner right now. If I were to ask you to start with the letter F and recite the alphabet backwards, could you do it? If so, how much time would you need and how much brain power would that take? I think for most of us, this isn't an impossible thing to do, but it does take a lot of cognitive effort. And I find that it's this constant cognitive effort that makes practicing piano very tiring, especially at the beginning of your piano journey. Unfortunately, a lot of beginners interpret their exhaustion as a personal failure or a lack of motivation. And this negative messaging can really chip away at a person's self-esteem. It can even prevent people from continuing with piano. If you're watching this and feel like you're resonating with this problem, I hope that I can convince you that if you feel drained after practice, the issue might not be motivation. It might just be that your brain is working really hard on a skill it's never needed before. So if this makes sense to you, I'd really like to offer my perspective on how we can break this challenge into more manageable pieces. In my next video, I'd like to share with you the way that I help my own piano students ease into reading music in a way that also helps them get comfortable with the position of letters in the alphabet. It's something that I call note neighbors. I created this to be a gentler approach to reading music than is usually offered by beginner piano books. And I find it to be really effective in reducing the overwhelm that a lot of beginners feel when they're trying to read music for the first time. So I'm really excited to share that with you. But for now, I'll sign off. Thank you very much for joining me today. And if you have any questions about anything that I've talked about, please reach out in the comments. I'll see you again soon.